leave at some point this afternoon, making that clear. You can treat this as missing persons or presumed accidental death. I really don't mind what you do. Sergeant Christopher and I will take up Mr. McFarlane's offer of a tour. We'll keep our eyes open and report back anything that might be useful to you before we leave, which we will be doing on the 1 o'clock flight." Waters got up and closed the door after them. Smith continued to gaze at the security roster, as if it held all the answers. "DC?" "Yes." "How do we get home, then?" "Eh? Oh, we sorted this out at the airstrip this morning. If any of us needed to stay for the afternoon, they said people would come forward from the 6 o'clock flight onto the 1 o'clock. I don't suppose they mind leaving early. We just have to let them know. What do you make of this, then?" Waters sat down again in his original seat. Something was still troubling him. "I haven't got my head around it yet. He could have gone over, slipped and fell, some sort of accident. So we are going to let them know about when we're leaving so they can swap the places?" "Yes, someone will let them know. I don't disagree. It is an obvious explanation, but it's not the only one, is it? And not everything about it is obvious when you start to think about it. Did you notice the walkways when we came in?" Waters got up again and went to the door. It had a small window that looked out into the corridor. "No, I didn't really notice them. Can't see any from here. So do you think DCI Freeman will tell them about the seats?" "What seats?" "The seats, the places that have to be swapped over so we can get home tonight." "Well, I shouldn't think a DCI is going to bother with that, nor a sergeant from the RSCU. They've got far more important things to be thinking about." "So who will?" "You can, if you like. Have a wander, see if you can find the right office. What did he call it? On and off? That'll be a nickname. It won't be over the door, but someone will put you right. Look, this isn't because you're worried about spending the night in a bunk with me, is it? Because I can tell you now that none of the rumours are true." "No, it's not that." "So there are rumours?" "No, I just—" "Have a date? How is Claire?" "She's fine, DC. I'll just make sure it's all arranged." "Good. Off you go, then." Waters was almost away before Smith called him back. "I meant to say, did you see the weather forecast for this evening?" "No. What is it?" "Going to get a lot windier, they reckon. Force 6, force 7. The smile was still on his face when he looked down at the folder, but then it faded away just as the light would be dying in the west before they took off tonight. Something told him that this was no laughing matter. It was time to get to know James Bell. "A Geordie boy, then. Away the lads." "James? They must have called you Jimmy, your friends, your family. Not much here about your education, just the name of a school, no college. But then, looking at the dates, you were working from 16. Went on to your first rig not long after your 18th, from Aberdeen out into the Shetland fields. That was something as young as that, but no different to joining up, leaving home one morning, a train ride, 6 weeks basic training with lads as frightened as yourself, led by men who seemed at first to be monsters. A few good years, must have been coining it in then in your early 20s, obviously adapted to the life, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, living it up in the flesh pots of the far north, back home to Newcastle now and then. Crane driver is a big step up in money and responsibility, earning yourself some respect too, looking like you've got a career in this business. Tough men, especially in those early days, but you survived. No, you did better than that. You thrived. And then? Must have been about 30 when you left it, went ashore one day and never went back. Or not until a month ago. 6 years. Why was that? This is a photocopy of an application form, and it doesn't tell us very much. There are gaps when you study it carefully. A month here, a few months there.